Hello traders and welcome to another video review. Today is Monday, December 30th, 2024. Let's find out what's going on the Forex economic calendar for today. Nationwide HPI data from UK are scheduled for release at 8 o'clock. 1 hour later we got the KOF leading indicators, and at the same time we got the Spanish CPI data. So it looks like the London session calendar is quite poor. Then we switch straight on to the US session, and what do we have here? Chicago PMI scheduled for release at 3:45, and at 4 o'clock pending home sales, main event of today. This event is scheduled for release at 4 o'clock, and that's about it. That's about everything for the Monday. Without any further ado, let's just switch to the chart. We'll start with EUR. By the end of the day and the end of the year, basically the euro dollar market looks quite calm, and the volatility is rather minimal. What do we have here is obviously the positioning of the traders ahead of the end of the year, but our let's say liquidity zone is still apparently it's obviously still very let's say intact. It's very accurate. So what do we have here? Let me just place some new lines here. As we know, we got this line here, which is the low of the zone, and if we copy it, we can surely set our line, of course supply zone somewhere here. Let me just move this rectangle here, and now we all know what is going on. There you go. This is exactly what we've been looking for. 1.0457, 1.0462. A few pips. Short-term supply zone is located here. The other one is, as you can see, 1.0533, 1.0540. I will not touch it anymore because it's not necessary. What is market doing? The market is trading above the level of 50 on the RSI, which means the bulls are in charge of this market, at least temporary. However, there is more and more evidence that the level of 1.0334 might be quite important to bulls and bears, because the bulls and bears cannot actually do anything about this level. They try to basically break below this level, but so far they simply failed. So let me just mark this zone here as the major demand zone. So from the lows of the November to basically lows of the December lows are just few pips away from this, from the extreme low. Bounce is not that solid as we thought. However, we broke above the short-term trend line already, but there is no follow-through. There is no advantage built on this breakout to the upside, as the momentum is on the level of 53 points. So it's positive, but it's not strong at all. And as we approach the end of the year, the market will stay in this tight range when the liquidity is poor and the volatility is subdued. What is going on the other majors? Cable. For our chart of cable, almost a mirror picture of the euro dollar. It's the same situation here. We got the movement to the upside from the lows of let's say 1.2474 back to test 1.2613, and then movement back down towards the local support at 1.2502. Then another bounce, breakout with the momentum to the levels of 50, but our side at the level of 55 doesn't give bulls any big advantage. This is just end of the year, movement up, movement down. Not much is going on here. Not much is apparently being done with this very nice test of the resistance. No breakout, no upside movement, nothing is done, because it's this time of the year when the volatility is very low and the liquidities might be quite poor. The traders are positioning up themselves to the end of the year. Long-term traders, short-term traders, mid-term traders, all of them are just switching up and down, and the market is in a flip-out mode. We expect bigger moves later on. What is the market that doesn't actually surprise us is, of course, US dollar to the Japanese yen. Another swing high made here, 158.09, I guess. Yes, this is the biggest one. However, this level is again very, very close to the level of 70, extremely overbought market conditions, and now the market participants await some kind of a pullback, maybe correction. Nevertheless, this is still very nicely, strategically, precisely unfolding uptrend, which is moving inside of this triangle, going from the upper to the lower, in this channel, of course, not a triangle, going inside of this channel. We are waiting for the upper channel line to be hit, while the level of 162 is being, of course, tested, so the outlook remains bullish. This is the market with the strongest momentum right now, US dollar to Japanese yen. How the S&P 500 is finishing the year, as you can see, we got the yearly high, 6,000, let's say 100 points. Big correction to the downside on a daily time frame chart. Let me just zoom in. That's quite interesting here. But this correction, we spoke about this correction, it's not the biggest correction during the uptrend, so this is not price and time overbalance. The market doesn't actually care that much about our range lows and this last swing high. This last swing high provided very nice support, then it was violated, then this movement was to test this level, and then of course it worked with minimal damage, and the market is back below the all-time high, back below the resistance. And more and more traders might be thinking about getting these things done finally before the end of the year, because of plenty of the reasons. One of them is, for example, portfolio rebalancing, and of course, let's say something which is called tax optimization for the purpose of the taxes. So they might be closing the open orders, long-term, short-term, mid-term open orders, and then opening them again in 2025. So right now, this market went back below the trend line, is in the middle of nowhere. Momentum is negative 46 points. So the bullish movement was made just to test this technical resistance. Then we got very nice pin bar here, confirmation, and now extension to the downside should happen soon. And the same situation is with gold on a daily time frame chart. If we switch to the recent data, we got this short-term trend line breakout to the upside. However, the first technical resistance, 2366, capped the potential bounce higher, and now the market is trading below This technical resistance at 45 points is the RSI, so it's a negative RSI. Not very big bearish pressure yet. Still, the bulls didn't actually broke above this horizontal trend, horizontal technical resistance. So the outlook remains basically, let's say, the same, because this would be some kind of a short-term sideways trend. After that, potential double rejection happened here at 2,720, and now the market might be ready to move even lower. The next target is 2,581, and then the major technical support in the short term, 2,538. Last but not least is of course the Bitcoin. Let me just switch to the 4-hour chart as we continue to move lower. Just as expected, nothing changes here in our point of view, in our scenario for the Bitcoin. The first leg to the downside is done. The second leg, wave B, looks done. And now we got movement to the downside, correction to the upside, movement to the downside, correction to the upside, movement to the downside, correction to the upside. It's clear and visible here that this market is under the bearish pressure. Momentum is negative 37 points only. So as long as we do this kind of a basically this kind of a movement, this up and down movement here, the next target is the lows of the wave A, which is 94,732, and then of course this low, 91,702, $91,072, and then the target for the wave C, if we measure it, let me just get the wave C somewhere else so I don't have any problems to move it around. If we get this like that, for example, okay, this is the wave A low. Okay, so if we use the Fibonacci, let's say projection, so we know now the situation is 0.62 is $90,025, but we are looking 1-to-1. We are looking for the full movement to the downside. So let me just mark it with this left wave C leg here, and if there is any symmetry, of the on the Bitcoin, the next target for the wave C is $83,900 basically. And then after this ABC corrective pattern is done with this target, it might be very solid correction, very solid correction or pullback on the Bitcoin, and the market would be ready to move higher, move towards the all-time high at 108,362. So the upside movement would be, of course, continued, but first we need to complete wave C. If the wave C, however, would be in form of the ending diagonal, it doesn't have to be a fully blown, let's say, it doesn't have to be fully blown impulsive wave to the downside. So let me just mark it in black. So if we do something like this, for example, like ending diagonal, it is possible, of course. So then this situation here might be a little bit lower, a little bit higher. Sorry, that the target level might be a little bit higher than in the previous case, in the previous scenario, and we should end up somewhere around the level of $88,650. So that's the other scenario, alternate scenario for the Bitcoin, in case this let's say this situation here will become ending diagonal instead of some sort of the very aggressive and dynamic movement to the downside. So that's everything from me for today. Thank you very much for watching this analysis, and I hope I see you guys next time. Take care and bye bye.